talk tonight. Just a few things. Uh, really, I don't have too much to say, but I am going to be talking a few things tonight about what is the hate for Deion Sanders. Prime time. So let's talk about it. Well, as you guys know, prime time was at the HBCUs, and everybody cried about that. He started recruiting these great athletes, and guys started coming to his place to play at Jackson State. So what was wrong with that? Then Primetime decided uh, he's done enough there, and for me, I don't see anything wrong with that logic. You make your mark, do your stamp as myself as a coach, and you decide to do other things. I think more so with Mr. Deion Sanders' deal is he wants to be that figure or father figure for men. And what is wrong with being that? I don't see anything wrong with trying to be a father figure for men. And it doesn't matter how your calling is or what it is for you, but why the hate? Why so many people from young to old or whatever it is, if you're a sports fan or you're a person that intellect with those particular sports, why the hate for Dion? What is wrong with prime time being prime time? Everyone knew what he was coming out of high school. If you've been along long as I have, everyone knew what he was when he was at the collegiate level, and everyone knew what he was at a professional level. He is a guy that's gonna talk his smack, but he is one of the very few that backs it up. That maybe that's the issue, because for me, he's one of my favorite two players of all time. And if you should know, I'm an avid Cowboy fan, and I'm a diehard Cowboy fan. And it's not because he played for the Cowboys. Even so, in while he was in the collegiate level, I admired this guy's performance. I love the way he backed his stuff up. Some of the time you love to hate him, but he went out and backed his stuff, his play up. So now, why? Because he's becoming a coach. That now we have this hatred for him, and it's across the board. And I bring that up because just strolling through, man, just listening to certain things, and I happened to run across Jason Whitlock. And if most of you know who Jason Whitlock is, Jason Whitlock is I think he's an ex-professional player. He's also he's a journalist, a very successful journalist, and I think he does a podcast that or content creator, I guess you want to call, like everybody that's trying to do, including myself, trying to be one. Uh, he has put out some stuff, man, that was really weird to me. I just didn't understand the comments, right? And it's mind blowing to me. And he was with a doing a podcast with I think with some other professional players. Brett Favre was one, mind you there, Brett Favre, and I think he had Warren Sapp, Hall of Famer himself, and I think he had is it Seth Jones? If I'm not mistaken. But anyway, these guys are professionally known, top players at their position, in the league for our lifetime. So, but the comments that he was making about Dion and why was the hate for him and why he think Dion's gonna fall, it was mind blowing to myself for Jack Gill. It was just mind blowing, and why? It's beyond me. It's just no reason why that we have to go to those extremes to figure out what is the guy's what is his end game? What is his end game with the uh, with the criticism? So I want to play a little bit of that. Let's get into it. think the Wi-Fi must have got me. Yeah. Let's see. Maybe to come up here. Y'all excuse me, but anyway, just the talking and just listening to what he says. Some of the things, if you guys know Jason Whitlock, is mostly he does a lot of political talking points, which is fine. I mean, you are who you are. If you want to be conservative, democratic, or whatever you consider yourself to be, is fine. But you know, the talking points that he was coming up with and really disrespecting Deion Sanders. So hopefully Deion and him has hashed it out, or whatever the hatred was, or whatever he was hating on this guy for, I don't know. But you guys can go look at it yourself. It's on YouTube, so you can go check it out yourself. And I think I got some of it to come up here.
About Deion Sanders. And Warren was this close to getting me to believe that Deion's going to be super duper successful at Colorado. I'm still not all the way bought in, but and it started because Brett Favre was like, "Oh, Warren would make a great coach," and I'm like, "Warren Sapp would make a great coach? Get out of here!" And Warren's been down with Deion at Colorado. You've seen it all firsthand.
They pouring concrete. Just know this.
Y'all, and Seth, I'm gonna lump you in, even though I don't know your thoughts. Y'all all probably think the Deion thing's gonna work. Warren, you start us off.
I'm fully in, because the man is so consistent
Sapp.
and patient with them young men, and then he surrounded himself with with good coaches around him. It's not just him. It's not just him. If it was just him, I'd be like, Prime, you can't do this all by yourself, baby. You're a Florida boy, and I know we walk around with chips on our shoulders and think we walk on water, but that's just too much. He's got a great staff with him, and the kids are all in. When he's in front of them talking, I mean, it's almost like they're in a trance. And you know how that is when you got a football team on one beat. When you got a football team on one beat, we can do whatever we want to do because we're all rowing in the same direction. And when you have that as a football team, that's special. I'm just telling you, he's a special individual leading a special group of men out there right now. And he brought, and it's him. He brought them all. This is his. So I'm just telling what I saw with my own eyes. And if I didn't see it with my own eyes, I wouldn't have came home, got on a plane, went back to Dallas with him to TCU.
I just great players, I don't think, make great coaches.
Not always.
Not always. Usually never.
I don't think ever.
Usually never.
There's always an exception to the rule.
It is.
We'll name them.
Deion
Deion Sanders will be that
We
exception.
won game.
No. He won at Jackson State, didn't he?
Wait, let me ask you a
now.
question before you
This
go
the
to
part I
break
wanna
and
hear.
You end up with me about Deion. What is it about Deion besides him being a great player that makes you doubt that he can?
Arrogance. Arrogance. Arrogance.
Little male jealousy right there.
No. Listen, I know
what he did.
I'm gonna stop it right there, because to me, I think that's basically what it is. That Deion, as I said beginning of my stream here, that Deion has been successful everywhere he has played, everywhere he has been. There hasn't been, some guys are just made to win, a la Tom Brady, right? No matter what the circumstances, what happens, you just know if it's I hate to even call his name, if it's Brady has a damn minute left, he's going to win that game. Then it's crazy. But it's just the way it is. But after the game, we all can come up with all kind of reason why he's won, right? Well, that guy, if he wouldn't have slipped, if that guy would have caught the ball, if that guy, Brady wouldn't have won. But Brady won. And that's the thing with Deion. If Deion would tell you water covers 3/4 of this earth, and I cover the other side, I believe him. Deion was a shutdown corner. But now I'm going to let this play. Let me shut up.
You got to have that supreme confidence that you can go out
No,
there
I
and
disagree.
shut out 1/3 of the
I
earth.
disagree.
What do you mean?
Warren, I've watched all you guys play, and I have tremendous respect. Did you finish runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year? And I mean, you guys are all special level players. I watched all of you play. You're incredibly gifted, and I think a lot of times incredibly gifted people have flaws that their gifts make up for, but they think their flaws are part of their strength. And Deion was not the greatest corner to ever play the game, in my opinion,
That's fine.
because
Your
of his
opinion.
arrogance. God bless.
Just because of his arrogance.
No. I'm saying I don't think that's what made him great. God gave him some incredible gifts in the womb, and he maximized that and worked hard and did all that. But it's not the arrogance. The arrogance to me is a shield or a beard for some insecurity. And just to be quite honest, when I see people that over the top, when I see people, he's my age, we're 56, we're the same class. I see people still wearing gold chains at 56, that's some insecurity. And because I bought some.
I'm going to stop it there. That has nothing to do with insecurity. With a grown-ass 56-year-old man that's been in sports his whole life, been around young men playing football, which he loves to do. He even, before his game, he always want to put on his music. If that's what's making him become successful, why? Why bother it? Why not support? But it seems like you looking for the fall. You want him to fail, and the first thing you'll say, I told you that gold chain shouldn't have been on his neck. That has nothing to do with it, Jay Whitlock. Come on now.
Gold chains. And
I never wore gold chain in the beginning, but I got me a nice Cuban now.
that ain't the level I'm talking about. He run around with Run DMC. And again, I'm not a Deion hater.
You ought to be.
Just got a little male jealousy.
I don't. I really don't. I would love for Deion to be a success. Humility is at the foundation of all sustainable success. Sustainable success. Swagger and all this other stuff we love to talk about. We love to rap about it. We love to, we got to have it.
Display, yeah.
Put it on display.
He put
That's
the
all
rap in
worthless.
there.
But his patience.
If that's not a
Some of the things you
young
were
youth
telling me,
I'm
word
telling you.
are
or talking
humble
point,
acts.
I'm telling you.
The patience, the work ethic. You talking about when he's driving 90 minutes to go coach high school football.
Yeah.
That's humility.
Yes.
But I see too much arrogance to think that it's sustainable. But I'm open to being proven wrong.
You know. See,
I like that. You open for it.
when I
Without question.
when I watched Deion and when I watched what happened, okay. So I got into a little dispute on social media because somebody fired. They were talking about, he was over the top, and I said, and I'm part of the media now. But I think one of the greatest injustices and one of the greatest problems with the media is that when someone writes something or someone says something and they get proven wrong, they don't have to eat crow. They don't have to go back and recant. They don't have to go back and say they got it wrong. See, my brand is that, I don't bite my tongue. I tell it like it is, and it might not work on a national level sometimes, but that's in Philly, that flies because that's what they want. But when I get it wrong, like I said, Brandon Graham will never be a double-digit sack guy because I've been around football long enough to know I can look at a guy and tell you, guess what, he got 11 sacks last year. The minute he got 11 sacks, I went on air in postgame and said, hey, I got it wrong. Congratulations to Brandon Graham. I sent him a text, okay? And I think that's the way it should be. But you can't talk about Deion and you can't talk about his kids and what they can and what they can't do in the national media and think he ain't gonna come at you. You know who you dealing with. He's been arrogant, and I won't say arrogant. I'm gonna call Dion one of the most confident
Confidence.
football players that I ever seen in my entire
Confidence.
life. He's overly confident.
That
if
is
everybody
it.
else walked in that kind of confidence, they'd be amazed at what they can accomplish.
He's confident.
So you can't come at him and think that he's not gonna come back at you. You know, you just can't.
Ed Werder didn't come at him.
That wasn't Ed. It wasn't Ed. He was.
He was talking to Ed
That
Werder.
wasn't Ed. It was the other guy. It was the Shanique guy.
Stop it. Well, whoever went at him, because all I saw from all these 3- and 4-letter networks, right? Everybody waiting on him to fail. TCU. And I'm going to say it again. That's TCU course. I was skeptical. That's TCU. I don't think that conference ever played defense. Big 12. So TCU had a good ride last year, but it was TCU. Turn around the following week, beats a Nebraska team, and I think this was done before the Nebraska game. But and just piggybacking off of what Seth Jordan was saying, he's been that way for years. If you knew Dion would tell you you're not going to catch no balls on me. You wasn't. Man, you might have caught some, don't get me wrong, but that was just the confidence that he had in himself. He has always been confidence. I used to love see Dion. I didn't care who he played for, return punts, because you never saw anybody that can catch that ball and can take it to the house. And you knew if he got a interception, he wasn't falling down. He was taking it to the house. So that was the special thing about him. That's why he's so confident.
I missed this. What are y'all talking about?
The guy wrote an article saying all this buzz in college football right now.
Sap, you in my lane.
I'll show you the guy.
No,
It wasn't Ed Werder. It wasn't Ed.
Sap.
It wasn't Ed. Why would he be asking Ed Werder if he believed? What did Ed Werder write?
Sap. You know me and Ed Werder are peers.
Brother.
This would be like me arguing with you
No,
about Joe
you're
Green.
not. When I'm sitting here, I know the guy that he was
I know Ed Werder.
It wasn't Ed Werder.
It was Ed
What
Werder.
did Ed Werder write?
He didn't write anything.
When you say I read that bull junk, because you can hear the guy's voice in the exchange.
He was talking to Ed Werder.
It's an Indian reporter.
You can
They
understand
should do
somebody's
something.
voice. You
And he
listen
wrote
to him long
all
enough.
this noise about Colorado. We're just basically going to be talking about a 2-10 team or worse.
Ed Werder.
He's already surpassed
with
2
Sap,
wins.
Here we go.
I'm friends with.
You wasn't there.
I talked to Ed Werder.
Ed Werder cannot
I heard
say that.
Ed Werder's voice
God.
say, believe in what? That was Ed who said, believe in what? I know Ed Werder's voice.
Oh, no.
We're peers.
No.
Again, this is like me arguing with you about Derek
Hey,
Brooks.
you wasn't there. I got the video from the boys that's in there. I know exactly who he's talking to. I can show you the reporter with his tweet because I even tweeted him. Come on, stop it.
After a while, I just let him sack me.
I do. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just
What
gonna
did Ed Werder write?
He didn't write anything, and that's
Exactly.
why.
He ain't talking to him. He said, I read that mess that you wrote. Do you believe? And the guy said, believe in what? That wasn't Ed Werder.
I believe they're going to win more than 2 games.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
They'll be 2-0 after this week.
I think
And a great player, this dude is, I don't think any of you guys could be great coaches. You're too great of players. But
I could.
No,
could.
you know what you got to be.
you could be a great
I could.
You know what you
Yeah,
got to
damn.
be.
But now,
You gotta be
later my
Later in life, because we've
a
learned.
motivator of men
and,
or
you know,
women,
I'm not-
whoever you
I'm
coach.
not as-
Hot-headed and fly off
Right.
the handle as we were.
Sometimes it's best to just pause, think about it rather than talking or yelling or screaming. I think there's a call for that if needed. But getting back to Dion, I think Dion's at a place in his life where he's ready to accept that role.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
He's a
Absolutely.
marketing machine. There's no
Yes.
question about it.
Yes.
You can't fault him for that. From day one, back in the day, maybe he when he was drafted and he was playing baseball and football, he was feeling it, and it was all because of him. Now he gives the glory to God.
and himself.
Well,
Oh,
I mean, I think he
come on,
deserves
Jay.
some.
I don't. Not as a Christian. I can.
Well,
we,
and we can argue this, at what level a Christian
I've
is.
accomplished again, and he's not at a very high level. In the sports writing deal. I've accomplished a lot. It has nothing to do with me. Nothing. Anything you accomplish on the football, you may not know it, but one day you'll find out it didn't have nothing to do with you. This
Yeah,
is for believers. This is for believers. If you're a believer, and it's just factual. And so I don't think Deion doesn't realize that, and I just think at our
It
age,
got nothing to do with this. It's already written. You just got to live it.
no, it's not.
See, that's why I go with Whitlock wrong. How you know that this guy isn't a downright heart believer, prays every night, give all glory to God? What makes you, as you so-called Christian, can tell he's not a Christian? Really? See, you only have to have the faith of a mustard seed, Jason Whitlock. The faith of a mustard seed. Not because Jason Whitlock can see it in you that you're not, right? You say confess with thy mouth that the Lord, right, was risen from the dead. Confess it. Not because Jason Whitlock said, I can see it. I changed my life. You know how many people done changed their life and still have those same temptations, same struggle, Jason Whitlock? You know how many does it? So when things going good, you think it's all God, huh? When they're not going good, you hate God. Which one is it?